but that's what I get offered. And if I did that, the Trauma fans would be furious. I'd lose our fans. So, if somebody comes along and says, "Hey, here's a shitty script, Lloyd. Here's $500,000," I'd do it in a minute.
That's fair. No, a lot of our you were
they're remaking the Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah, I'd heard about that.
They don't want me to direct it. They want a mainstream director. They're going to spend $100 million or whatever. They don't want me fucking it up, right? They're going to get they really.
Oh, we got a freeze up. Hold on one second. Okay, no, there we go. All right. They got to really.
Could you hear what I was saying?
We heard up to they got a really, and then it froze.
You heard up to what?
They got a really.
They got a really.
You were about to say what the script was like, I believe.
They had gonorrhea? What?
I believe.
You got gonorrhea? Now wait a minute. You're too young.
That's just the syphilis talking.
I know what gonorrhea is all about.
No, I believe you were talking about you were saying about the script for the Toxic Avenger remake.
We're freezing.
Oh no, we're freezing.
On our side, we're okay.
Now I hear you. Now I can hear you. Say it again.
You were speaking about the script for the Toxic Avenger remake, and you were saying they've got a really, and it cut off at that point. I was assuming it was something about the script.
Okay. Yeah, they got a really good director, who's a mainstream director, who won't fuck it up. And, they don't want me to direct it. It's going to be $100 million movie. I don't know what they're spending, but, they're getting big stars, and they'll do it, blah, blah, blah.
Are there any movies?
They're not going to want me involved.
Are there any movies that you think you fucked up?
No. But films, from their point of view, if they give me a mainstream movie to make, I will fuck it up. That's in their heads. I don't, maybe I wouldn't. But they're not. The point is, they're not going to. The mainstream conglomerates are not going to offer Lloyd Kaufman a directing job. The jobs I get from the scripts and offers I get from over the West Coast are crap, and the payments are crap. So it's not worth it.
You had mentioned beforehand a couple directors who you had worked with that you felt were an influence on your work, and that led you to do some work in the 70s and 80s on what I believe would be considered mainstream films like Rocky, Saturday Night Fever you were mentioning. Also the final...
They weren't mainstream. Rocky was a low-budget movie, and John Avildsen had just made... he had made 2 low-budget movies, which I worked on, and I saw that he had talent. So when we needed help on Rocky, they didn't have enough money to shoot the location work in Philadelphia. So Troma produced all that, the non-union, and that's why we went to Rocky. Rocky became mainstream, but was not a mainstream production. Didn't have any...
And freeze up again.
Didn't have a mainstream director.
There we go.
It was still, I'm going to have to go soon too. Freezing is getting it's getting a little impossible to do this now. Probably a lot of people are on Skype now because it's after work hours.
Okay, what is?
Rocky and Saturday Night Fever were not mainstream movies, and as I said before, just because they're mainstream movies doesn't mean that the directors are untalented. John Avildsen and John Badham, I saw were very, very talented directors, and that's why I worked on those movies. I was fresh out of college, and I didn't want to go to film school, so I decided I would attach myself to directors who were talented, who had some education, who had read a book.
What about working with Louis?
Books, I don't know how many books a lot of the people that are worshipped on TV in Hollywood, I don't know how many books they've read. But I can tell you that John Avildsen and John Badham are very interesting philosophically and well-educated people who have something to say, and from whom I could learn when I was out of college.
What about working with Louis Mal?
I did him a favor. I didn't want to do that, but he was a fan of Troma. I had made a movie called Waitress, and he liked it a lot. He was also a comic book fanatic, and Stan Lee introduced me to him, I think. And so he asked me to come on that show to try to save money on the unions. They were trying to get around the unions, so that was why they had me.
Okay.
By the way, there's a documentary that just came out about Andre Gregory, who's the guy who wrote My Dinner with Andre, which Louis Malle directed and which I was production manager. And this new documentary about Andre Gregory, I'm looking forward to seeing, because he also was a very interesting guy.
Oh wow, I'd actually heard nothing about that, so I'll have to...
I think it's going to play in the Tribeca Film Festival, I believe.
Oh, really?
Huh? Yeah, anyway, keep an eye out for it. You could probably Google Andre Gregory and check him out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard a rumor that the next Toxic Avenger film is going to be doing some filming in Niagara Falls. Can you say yay or nay on that at this point?
Whatever I do next for Troma, whether it's Toxic Avenger 5, the Toxic Twins, or whatever I do, I would like to return to Niagara Falls and Buffalo. And I did Poultrygeist in that area, and I had a great time, and I had a great time in Niagara Falls, so I have every intention of returning.
Excellent. We'll be happy
to... The film commissioner, the Buffalo Film Office, the Buffalo Film Commissioner is great, and we had a wonderful time. I mean, it was a very hard movie to make. The Return to Nukem High has got thousands of people in it, and lots of special effects, and crazy car crashes, and it's a very big production for no money. So it was not fun from the point of view of
from the filmmaking point of view, yeah. Now, on the subject of Toxie, you were saying before.
We'll be wrapping up in just a moment.
Yeah, we'll just have
I appreciate it, because I've got to get out of here. Somebody's waiting. There's a car waiting for me downstairs with it.
Oh, okay. If you don't mind, I'll just.
We'll wrap it up now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do one more question, but we could continue this on another occasion. You can just set it up with Regina.
Okay.
Let's do one more question, and then I should
certainly
probably go on.
Well, it was a question about the Toxic Avenger. Speaking of, he's probably to date your most significant high-profile creation, and I'm just curious how you managed to get what I think many people would consider an X-rated movie character into a Saturday morning cartoon character. That was quite interesting. So.
Yeah, well, I talk about it in my books. You can see more detail about it, but in a nutshell, the people who were making the Ninja Turtle toys, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys looked like they were dying. So that toy company wanted to have an environmental toy franchise, and they heard of the Toxic Avenger, that he carried them off and was an environmental superhero. I don't think they ever saw the movie. So they came up with the toys and then the cartoons, and I honestly, I don't know how that happened. That is manna from God, the God you're not sure you believe in.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule and sitting here speaking with me, and thank you very much.
Well, if I may say so, your interview is extremely good. Your questions were great. You are very articulate for a young person.
Well, thank you.
Hard to believe you're an American student. You're so well spoken. How did you become so well spoken?
You've been doing this.
I've been doing this for about 10 years, so I guess it's just practice makes perfect. So
you must read or something. You must read books, or you can't get this from American education. Your school didn't teach you how to speak properly.
No, not at all, actually. But I've been known to dabble in books of my own accord.
But
so
did your school have any? Do they get any credit for your good articulation and well spoken? And
No.
Well, to be fair, some. Admittedly, in a lot of ways, it taught me what not to do. But I have taken classes on like voice articulation because I'm going to school for acting at the moment. So I'm going to Niagara University in Lewiston.
Where are you going?
Niagara University in Lewiston. It's right by the falls. Actually, it's about 5 minutes away from the falls. So.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Well, you were very impressive. A very impressive young man, and your questions were both good in substance, and also your repartee is very good for a very young person. You will find, I think, as you go through life, that most of your contemporaries can't put two words together. Most of my contemporaries can't put two words together. Have you ever seen Abel Ferrara, any of his movies?
I have, yeah.
I might have. Like I don't know if I would know it by name, but
he did the original Bad Lieutenant's woman, and he's considered an American treasure. He's a total, in my opinion, he's a junkie, but he can't put two words together, and he can't. He's awful. But meanwhile, his movies are worshipped. So. And I find most of the people in this industry are very boorish and cannot either read or write or speak. They have no idea about. I have to literally talk. I have to control what I say. I had a situation just today where I had to stop myself. I can't remember what it is now, but I had to kind of stop myself and dumb it down, you know. So you're way ahead of the game. Good for you.
Well,
at any rate, I'll let you go, and thank you so much. And if you want to do any more of this, just set it up with Regina. I apologize. I got to get.
No, I totally understand. We appreciate you taking the time. So.
Well, please say hello to everybody in Niagara Falls, and
I certainly will.
Again, let them know that Michael Hers and I and Justin and all the Trauma Billions are very grateful to all of the people like you who were so generous to help us make Return to Newcomb High. That is very sincere.
We appreciate the opportunity, and that is sincere as well.
And we look forward to working with you again.
Well, keep in touch. Keep in touch.
Of course.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.